Hello everyone and welcome back to part 9 of our MotoGP 24 Let's Play. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Grand Premio Monster Energy de Catalunya. Yes, we return for round 6 of the season. If you missed out on the video that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Safe to say, things are heating up in the championship standings. We are just 16 points now back from Taio Furusato at the top of the table. We've kind of got a 4-rider group that is pulling away from the rest of the order there. Suzuki still ahead of Esteban and myself. Taking a look at the other championships, it is still Messiah ahead of Agura in Moto 2. And then in the top class, Jorge Martin with a 68-point lead over Marc Marquez there. The battle for P2 raging on in the top class series. But yeah, I just want to say, as always, a massive thank you to all of you guys for the continued support on this series. You know, we're getting closer and closer to 1,500 subs at the moment, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you were to hit that sub button. But taking a look then, we're going to up the AI just a little bit more as we head into this weekend, bumping it up to 77, and then having a look at the wall for Furusato. It happened, it's alright, I'm fine. Even if I would have preferred to finish the race. MB didn't do it on purpose. What's important is that we're all fine and we can ride the next one. Now, you guys have been telling me in the comments, it wasn't really our fault, to be honest. So we'll cause some beef on that one. I think, you know, you guys kind of shared the same opinion as me, that he took the corner too aggressively and took himself off the bike despite the contact. But yeah, returning though to Catalunya this weekend, hopefully we can try and have a good run out. Maybe, just maybe, we can steal another win.
A big hello from the Spanish circuit of Barcelona. Here we are again from the circuit where the second practice session is about to begin. The session will be important both to test the race pace and to book a place in Q2.
Well, I've actually done a little bit of Catalunya racing on this game in a video that will be coming live very, very soon, which I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy watching. But so, yeah, this is the first time I've kind of got some idea as to where I'm going on a motorbike, of course. That was done, though, on a MotoGP bike, so safe to say I wasn't particularly great, but I won't leave too many spoilers in this video today. But yeah, we're kind of finding a format that works for us as well in this series. So, of course, as always, we're going to try and get ourselves straight into qualifying from this first practice session. Times are really, really important here in Q1, because it seems like the track always seems to get slower when we head back out for the second session. But we're slowly bumping up the AI. We're almost now up to 80, so I feel like I am getting more and more pace inside the game. But of course, yeah, F124, that's coming out in a little over a week now, so we might have to take a little hiatus from MotoGP, or say start doing a video every other day. Say, this thing I'm still finding fascinating on this game is all the various different lines you have to take, especially on these circuits that, you know, I recognise from Formula 1, but obviously don't have any motorbike experience on. These final couple of corners are very much just kind of hang on and pray. So we make our way through the final turn. This first lap's felt pretty decent as a benchmark. I'm sure we'll be able to find a whole lot more. A 155.5. I've got no idea. That puts us a 10th up on Holgado. So immediately I'm happy with that. Oh, someone's gone down. Someone's gone down. We've got yellow flags out, and someone has been sent straight back to the pit lane. Nasty looking incident. I believe that might have been Holgado, but I don't know for sure. There you go, Suzuki setting a bit of a better time, but I think honestly now we're getting to the point on this game where I can jump on and pretty much just feel my way around a venue and work out how much speed we need to carry, because that 55.5 actually looking pretty competitive. I reckon we can definitely sneak into the 54s, but I don't think there'll be a lot more pace than that. Well, there we go. We better hope we can sneak into the 54s, because that's exactly what Furusato has done. 7/10 clear of anybody else early on in the session. Oh, finding loads of time up in towards Campsa corner. 1.1 seconds up. That would be good. But it's pretty much in line with Furusato at the top of the board as loads more times pouring in. We just got to try and hook this one up and we should be good. Taking a bit more of a conservative approach though as we make our way in towards the final couple of corners. Lean on that curbing. Oh, right up towards the gravel trap on the exit. This final corner I want to believe is nearly flat if you nail it, but I cannot get it hooked up. We're going to be about 7/10 up though by the end of the lap, so that'll put us into P3. I'm hoping that should be enough to see us straight into Q2. There we go, we make it through P5 at the end of the sessions. Once again, I'm guessing a lot of the grip just gets rubbed off overnight, hence why free practice 2 times are slower, but P5 in the end, we've got the AI well balanced here, but we need to find that little bit more pace in qualifying. I think what I like as well with these 15-minute qualifying sessions is, you know, it takes you 2 minutes to get out onto the circuit, and you've only really got a few laps to get the time on the board. You know, if you have another rider that falls off in front of you, or you make a mistake yourself, you're very, very limited by the amount of runs you can actually get on the board. Hopefully we're not going to come out in too much traffic either, which is good. But yeah, we need to be aiming for a mid to low 54. First laps felt pretty good up to this point. Actually felt better than anything I was able to do in free practice, but you never quite know until you make your way through the final couple of corners what the time is actually looking like. Don't know how much other riders are going to be able to improve as well as that final corner pretty nicely hooked up. It is going to be a 154 flat. So I said we needed to aim for a low 54. That's exactly what we've done, but will we be able to best it? Oh no, Suzuki's gone. Suzuki has crashed out then, and he was only in P7 at the moment, so he's now under a lot more pressure towards the end of the session. For Sato, just trying to complete his first run, as I'm genuinely not sure we can beat that time we set. I think we accidentally nailed it on the first time of asking. As for Sato, he will find more time, as that is not the line through there. He will be the first rider to dip into the 53s this weekend. So now, we've got to try and find a bit more. Oh, we're just starting to come up to a gaggle of slightly slower riders here, as we've found a little bit more time on this lap. You've got to be so careful over the curbing. But yeah, we've got to find 3 more tenths to for Sato. There's Joel Esteban. He was a bit quiet in the first couple of rounds, but he really has come back now as a title threat. He's a 10th up on me as well. Nice tight line down at the bottom of the hill. And that can allow you to ride the throttle on the way out. Plenty of curb. Lucky not to get a track limits violation. We've stole pole in the last couple of rounds, but are we going to be able to do the same thing here? Half a second up now. We are just finding a little bit more over for Sato based on that delta. Going to lose a little bit of time, though, down in towards the final couple of corners. Still, that gap 0.6 of a second. I resolve way too deep. That's going to compromise this as other riders peel back into the pit lane. 1 more corner to go. You wouldn't believe it with that line, but there is an apex in there, as it is going to be so close between myself and Sato. But we do go back to the top of the board, and we are provisional pole by 1/10 of a second. I don't think I can find any more time than that. There we go, 3 pole positions in a row then as we beat out Sato by just 1/10 of a second. David Alonso could be on a bit of a fight back now ahead of Joel Esteban and Rueda there with Suzuki. A bit of a nightmare down in P6. Rossi, Nepa, Holgado and Ortola making up our top 10 after qualifying. So let's do this thing here for the Catalunya Grand Prix.
Hello and welcome to Barcelona, Spain. We're coming to you from the Catalunya circuit, where the fans in the stands are eagerly awaiting the riders to take to the track. In a few moments, we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the Moto3 race. These shots coming to us live from the grid, where technicians and engineers are carrying out final checks on the bike before the start. The weather is clear and temperatures are far from extreme. However, tyre wear will play a very important factor in today's race. That's why lots of riders have been using medium tyres in the front and rear.
Well, here we are then, ready trackside for round 6 of the season. We've had a pretty good run of form so far, and we've got to make sure that we beat Rueda in the standings by the end of this one. Shout-outs as well to, I believe the name was Elusive Kev, who taught me, or at least tried to explain to me, how you're meant to start a bike.
The start of the Catalan Grand Prix. The lights are on, and as soon as they go out, it's gonna get wild.
So what we need to do, apparently, is lower the traction control to 1, and then try to floor it. So it's 10 red lights. It's gonna be lights out, and away we go. That didn't work. That didn't work at all for me, so I appreciate the effort. But that has not paid dividends as we make our way down in towards that first corner. Already getting a big old squeeze from, I believe that was Holgado. And of course then everyone else and their grandmother trying to dive bomb me at the first corner. More contact with Ricardo Rossi, because apparently that's just what we do. Oh my lord, David Alonso's gone. A huge crash for Alonso there. No idea what happened to him. but he has been absolutely flung from his bike in a very, very extreme crash there. That was nasty looking. I don't know if he just got caught on the curb or caught with another rider or what happened, but he is down. Staggeringly, though, I don't believe out of this race, which is probably the most impressive thing, because if he's able to keep going, then fair play, he is a very, very tough rider. Yep, he's not out. He's not out of this race, so he's done very, very well to keep going there. It's all over the back of Rueda as we make our way up the hill. But Joel Esteban, once again, getting to the front of the field here ahead of Furasato. So are we going to see those top two try to run away? It's a 7-lap race here today, so it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out. And, of course, we're going to get absolutely dive-bombed by Pequeras. I mean, what was I meant to do there? Absolutely flung it in. Maybe trying to do his best Riccardo Rossi impression around this venue, but we're down to P6 then, as Rossi will make it through actually clean and tidy that time. We're just watching the top riders waltz away. Slipstream advantage, though, I'm sure is going to come into play here, as around the outside Rossi will go. So we are P5 by the end of lap 1. We've already lost about 2 seconds there, as Furasato making a move on Joel Esteban. See Rueda trying to make a move on Suzuki as well. So there are battles up and down the order. That is way too hot into the first turn. Luckily, we hang on. Definitely feel like I'm getting better at, like, hanging on in those scary moments. As you can see, Rueda and Suzuki. Easy, lads, easy. Something's happened. We've had an instant further back. I think that's Ortiz and Ogden, who are both off their bikes. And so I think that's 2 DNFs in a row for Ogden. Really not having a good time out of it at the moment. But we have closed back up to Suzuki and Rueda. Oh, we seem to be very, very strong through that final corner. That time around, kicking up a little bit of grass and dirt on the exit. Yeah, back into the 53s immediately then, as Suzuki's going to make a move on Rueda back down towards turn 1. Are we going to be able to follow him through nice and early on the brakes that time? Do not want to fire it in as Rueda tries to really pinch me. Oh, a little bit too much curb. That's going to be our first track limits violation of the day. Luckily, we just get a warning there as well. You can see Joel Esteban getting flung out wide through turn 3. We'll switch Suzuki back on the exit, though. We're back up into the podium places, albeit I wonder for how long. So are we going to see Suzuki dive me? We're going to see him try it, but I'm not going to let it happen. Well, I'm a little bit scared, yeah, Furasato and Esteban now slightly spread out, that they're just simply going to have more pace than me here towards the end of the afternoon. But if we get the laps hooked up, I mean, this lap has been fantastic so far. I hadn't even spotted that. Shame we ballsed it up going through the third last corner. But if we got the potential to be down sort of in the mid-53s, surely we can close in that gap. Tell you what, this track is a little bit like Le Mans Bugatti in the sense of when you get those quick changes of direction right, there is so much time to be had there. As be really, really careful. Track limits, I believe, are just the curbs on this game, so you've got to make sure that you keep your wheel just around those, as that's almost a 152 here, set at 53 flat, and you can see new fast lap of the day. The gap to Furasato, 1.5 seconds. If we can't get to him, surely we've got a chance at Joel Esteban. Come on, 2 laps to go. We are still taking time out of the top 2. Not as much as we were. As I think, yeah, Furasato now just starting to drag Joel Esteban along towards the end of this. Once again, though, it's the top 2 or 3 that break away so much from everybody else. 3.5 seconds the gap to Rueda behind. As all both our top 2 riders just run a little bit wide through turn 1. You can see how much time we gain from that. So Joel Esteban again, another mistake through the curbing at turn 2. We've got yellow flags out further behind. Someone has had a tumble. Don't know whether they're going to be able to keep going or not, as... yeah, I don't know. I can't remember who it was that fell off on lap 1. I don't think it was Suzuki, was it? Because he's still running way up the order. But look at that, instantly. We're now all over the back of Furasato and Esteban. Come on, 1 more lap to go. We have finally closed in on Joel Esteban. And maybe if we get a good run through these final couple of turns, we're going to be close enough to try and go for a move on him. But we need to be outscoring Furasato. How many times have I said that so far this season? As we'll tuck into the wheel tracks of the 78 rider just in front of me. We should surely be able to get past him on the run down towards someone. It's a 152.9. New fastest lap of the day there. Getting to the inside of him as we make our way to the braking zone. Pretty even there as Esteban actually sends it across my nose through turn 1. We've got no choice but to cut turn 2 there, and we do pick up yet another track limits violation. As we'll try and switch him up the hill, then bumping him out of the way through turn 3. And we are finally up at a P2 then of this race. As I said, every season so far, we've either done the same or better than we've done in the round before. But unfortunately, Le Mans Bugatti meant that we can't maintain that unless I win every single race between now and the end of the season there. But Furasato, has he once again just got enough here to try and hang on from us? We're trying some different lines. We're trying to get the run off the exit of some of these corners, but it is not happening for us at the moment. Once again, the ever-consistent Japanese rider just seems to have enough in the pocket as we run terribly deep down at turn 8 then as we make our way up the hill, unless he makes an error now. Yeah, look at that. It looks like our battle is going to be with Joel Esteban to the end of this race there. Furasato is just unstoppable when he's in his element on this game. Runs a little bit wide there, down in towards the final sector. So we do an even worse job though, as Esteban having a look for it. We'll try and get back over to the racing line there and rotate the bike through the hairpin, but in towards the final couple of corners. Once again, Furasato is going to reign supreme here, and he's going to take his 3rd victory of the season after a bit of a disaster at Le Mans last weekend. No one can stop him at the moment, but through the final corner, try as you might, it is going to be P2 for us. Not a bad effort, but I just feel like there's more available.
As the Moto3 riders do their cool-down lap, let's take a look at the final results of the race we've just seen.
Well, there we go then. Joel Kelso sets the fastest time of anyone by the end of that one, and you can see even Colin Vire as well when he gets the lap nailed. He is relentless. But Furasato takes another win ahead of ourselves and Esteban. Our main rival, Ruida, beats out Nepa and Rossi there. Where did Suzuki finish in all of that then? Suzuki, I think, must have been the one that caused the yellow towards the end of the race there, and was 2 minutes off in the end, so he must have come off again on that final lap there. Scott Ogden and Ortoda even the only 2 riders not to finish the race as well. And taking a look then at our championship standings, we are now 1 point behind Joel Esteban, 11 clear of Suzuki as we move into the top 3 in the standings there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon where I believe we're heading to Mugello next. I could be wrong, but if we are, that should be good fun.